I thought this was interesting. I live in LA, so this reminds me of just how LA feels a lot of the time, which is frantic and chaotic. And at the end, it's just kind of like, I'm done, or, you're burnt out, or whatever it is. I thought for me, it was a good depiction of living in LA. But I've also lived here for a very long time. So that was my thought on it. It was interesting to have it broken down into phases and have it get worse and worse. It said something about it being a meditation at one point, but I don't think it means a relaxing meditation. I think it kind of means like a meditation on the feelings one has, maybe for this situation. I don't know. It's very like poetic in a way that it can be probably interpreted differently for everyone, but that's what it meant to me.
And this is just a really kind of a love letter to Los Angeles. Yeah, it's a really cool idea. I love just the whole kinetic energy of it. It was a nice visual piece with music and a small team. It was one person primarily made most of the film. Which was really cool. It was a really really fun idea. Exciting to watch. So yeah, really really, a great way to like with the means at hand to make a complete piece of artwork, to make it happen.
I think the lights were really quick, and there were only a couple like fleeting seconds of a grounding images in that first phase of the short. And I felt like that was sort of the clarity in all the lights and rapid motions of being in LA. And in the second phase, a lot of it was like set in the desert or nature with the city and the lights in the background, but they were still very present on the mind. And so for me, this film like felt like that's maybe potentially what it's like to like live in LA, like racing around all these like lights, only a couple things to ground you. And when you like leave and go to the desert, that city life, those lights are always kind of just like you're thinking about it a little bit. So that's kind of how I felt about this short.
It's very psychedelic and all over the place. So is the music. All I can hear is a bunch of types of drums and stuff playing in the background. Like if I was truly smoking or drinking something, I would totally believe I was in that world. I really like when in the end of phase two and into phase three, the video goes extremely fast and we can see the shapes that the lights make when the camera pauses. I think the nightlife is displayed really well here. I don't think there's a message that's really told. It's just a type of sit down and enjoy the ride, good felt video.
I loved the concept and the idea that, like, it started off, like, really kind of, like, realistic and really vivid, and as it continued, it just kind of got farther and farther away from that reality and from that like, the vivid traffic lights, the vivid street signs, and the vivid freeway signs and things like that, and you have this, like, really, really, like, blurry and fluid like moments that it like I said, it just kind of bled into, and then you kind of have like these sharp, like very quick moments of like a fire hydrant where you suddenly see something. And I think that like when you're driving at night, you can kind of get into this zone almost, where things kind of do just blend, and especially if you're driving somewhere you're really familiar with, you aren't, like, looking out for a specific street or something like that, I think you can have these kind of moments where, you are just driving along, and you're just kind of experiencing it, and you're a part of it, and it's flowing around you, but it's not necessarily, like, that super crisp vividness.
Upbeat, punchy tonality. Tonally, it has a psychedelic undertone with various sounds and sights of what you would see and experience in a car. Sort of like it gives you the feel that you're looking out of a car window that's going at a very quick speed. But it's abstractly presented, so it's out of focus, flashes of things barely in focus, and occasionally something will be completely in focus, like a fire hydrant, for example. Lots of abstract lighted figures, and the music really fits the imagery. And each phase has sort of a different speed. Um, leading us up to phase 3, where it does feel like we're leading into a crash. And so it felt like there was various differences in energy between the 3 phases.
So cool and so creative. I would love to have seen the behind the scenes of how this was created. But it just makes me think of, you know, when you have those sparklers and you can kind of write in them and you can capture it on camera. This is exactly what it looks like. And I'm assuming that that was part of the process, but what do I know? It was just so beautiful to see. And I like that they had kind of the different phases and the different themes for each one. Just really creative and wonderful.